Hi, I'm Artemis, and you're listening to Coffee Stain, a podcast full of real people stories, knowledge, and much inspiration about and beyond coffee. Personal and business stories full of passion, persistence, creativity, goals, and action. So get your coffee ready and join us. Hello, Dionysi, and welcome to Coffee Stain. Today, we are talking with Dionysi Musti, who is now located in Athens, and we're going to have a conversation mainly about sustainability in coffee. And I believe that we will talk about many interesting things. Welcome, Dionysi.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the warm welcome, Artemis. It's always a pleasure, first of all, to talk with you. And as we said today, we'd like to have a conversation like the ones that we usually do when we meet up, because as you said, I am locating in a different city from you, but at least before COVID, we had the chance to meet each other. And I was really enjoying the conversation that we had regarding coffee, especially. So thank you so much. That you invite me. I would like also to, for you, your new concept here, your new project, your new podcast, to have, let's say, the best acceptance is possible. I think that people like you, that they are dedicating time out of their daily business. I admire them because they are doing something really with their heart and with their passion. So thank you that I'm, let's say, part of this passion. And all the best for your new podcast.
What can I say? Thank you very, very much. Uh,
Of course, I would like to say something at the beginning. I don't like the title. It doesn't mean that I don't like it, because I understand the meaning behind the coffee stain, what means. But I had to admire that I don't like coffee stains at all. When I see a coffee stain, always I try to clean it from the start. I cannot handle it. So
yes, you are.
nice title, but okay,
Yes, you
not in
are
reality.
in the business of coffee. That coffee stain is something that feels like dirt, or it. So I believe that it's natural that you feel like this.
Let's say it coffee footprint, something like that. But
Okay.
because this was the meaning that you would like, let's say, to advertise with your title. But stay, no, something bad for me.
Maybe we will consider changing this in
Yes,
the
for
future.
your next project, please, you can advise me at least in the title. So
Okay.
yes, I'm working in coffee industry. Basically, I'm, let's say, a coffee professional for more than 15 years now. I have passed from many different roles. Basically, I started as a barista, or as let's say, a bartender. But over the years, I had the chance to follow the path of coffee, understand how unique this product is. And finally, I'm very happy that I'm almost 37 years old and I can live professionally through coffee. So what I'm doing now, actually, I'm a coffee capability manager, let's say, and I will explain a little bit what this is.
Yes, please.
Yes, I know. I'm working for Lavazza Group. I'm located in Greece, but I'm working with um, network, Lavazza Network, in the area of our business unit, which is the Central Europe, Middle East, and Africa. And actually, I'm helping our distributor network to increase their coffee capabilities. So by increasing their coffee capabilities, and as my manager is saying always, the knowledge is power. I'm trying, let's say, to give the level of knowledge behind coffee, of course, in every stakeholder and every worker of our distributors around our network, in order, first of all, sell them, to sell coffee more efficient, and on the other hand, act as a professional, as a coffee professionals in our markets. So it's a complicated role. You had at least the chance to see different markets and to, exchange ideas and news around food service industry, especially from people around the world. So at least this is something that can keep me alive, and of course is always something that make me to increase my level of knowledge and learning new things around coffee. So actually, this is, let's say, a job description of my role, if I could say.
It is multiple positions, let's say, and in my ears, it sounds a little bit difficult and, as you said, complicated, but also challenging, as in my ears.
Once a general manager of our distributor, I think was somewhere in Balkans, told me that I'm a very good storyteller. And I can engage people around coffee. So I can make a marketeer that maybe in his past years was working around different beverage categories. When it comes to coffee, to make him, let's say, work a little bit more from his heart. So yes, to engage people around coffee and also help them by increasing their knowledge to perform better in their role around the industry. Yes, I think it's very, first of all, it's a very exciting role, and then for sure it's much more complicated than it sounds.
I would like to say that I know Dionysi for many years, and the image that I have in my mind is Dionysi is behind the bench talking and showing coffee, making coffee and things like that to the people in some exhibitions, especially in Athens when I saw him. And he's not only a great storyteller, but he's an actor. He's perfect. He shows his passion to the crowd, and the crowd takes it and is standing there and doesn't look anywhere else. So I can say that this manager of yours, yes, he's right. He's right.
I'm happy now that we're not using camera and that it's a podcast, actually, because I'm all red. But thank you so much for this. No, I think that to engage people around something that you really love and your passion to, first of all, I'm not forcing anyone or to drink coffee or to love coffee. But on the other hand, for me, all the consumers or the potential consumers of coffee are equal to my mind. And let's say I want to give them the chance to understand better what they drink. But if they don't want to deep dive more to a drink or to a beverage that is part of their daily routine, but that's it. It's okay for me. So I'm not the coffee geek that I will try to push and understand all the attributes that are combining how a coffee can be complicated or how you can categorize it as a quality one. No, this is up to them. But if they want, I will be open, of course, to explain them everything around this simple beverage that they are consuming. And coming also to our conversation, because you told me that you would like, and I told you that I like too much talk about sustainability, and especially in coffee. I think that starting with your first question, so please say it, because I know it. You told me what will be the first question, at least. But then there is no script. I would like to clarify this. But your first question, yes, I know it.
Okay. Before my first question, I want to say that if you were forcing people and not inspiring people, you wouldn't be here. So this is...
Thank you, but maybe you were the one of the ones that you get inspired. You had to answer also the other people that they didn't inspire at all from my speech. So Okay, I really love your perspective, but maybe someone would say something else. But for sure, in my mind, I'm not a coffee geek that is pressing you to learn about
I
coffee.
know,
No,
I know, I know
just
that.
consume it if you like it.
Yes,
So,
exactly. We're talking about sustainability, and it is a term, let's say, that is, if you search it in Google or in YouTube, you will find many videos about sustainability in many aspects of our lives. Sustainable living, sustainable coffee, sustainable tea, sustainable thinking. It's a term that is all over. But in coffee, the last years, I would say, the sustainable coffee, the sustainability in the business of coffee, in all the chain, let's say, is much discussed. So, what does sustainability in coffee mean? In order for people to understand it, because maybe they have heard it, but they really don't know what it is about.
it's a question that may have different answers, and we have to see it from different perspectives. So, in order to make it more simple, what sustainability maybe is from a point of a consumer, and then we will explain, of course, what actually sustainability means, especially for coffee. So, I think that for the consumer in general, since it's is a term that we are using it also in other industries, or as you mentioned, also in our way of living sometimes. I think that when it comes to the consumer, they are believing that when they are consuming something sustainable is something good for the environment, maybe something that is helping the one that is producing the raw materials to earn and have a decent life. That the product that is consuming maybe has a minimum impact, let's say, of CO2 or a small footprint, let's say, the pollution of the world. So I think that these are the drivers for a consumer to go there and take a sustainable, let's say, coffee instead of something that is unsustainable. But this is not a term, a right term. But
okay, yes.
let's keep it at this way. Yes, for a consumer. So, on the other hand, for the professional, and when I'm saying professional, mainly for the barista or for a cafe owner or for someone that is selling coffee, sustainable again is something good. Is something that can continuously, let's say, providing without having again a big footprint in the pollution of the world. That the people that they are working in the whole supply chain are earning the money that is equal to them. So again, it's something good, let's say, to promote it. It's something good to give it to my consumers, to my clients. But in coffee, again, what sustainability is, for me as a professional, for sure, it's something that can be produced without causing, let's say, further warming, global warming, without having a big impact on the local level, without using, let's say, sources without sustainability behind to produce those materials. So it's a whole chain that's starting from the level of the producer, of the farm, and can be addressed, let's say, to the whole supply chain until it reaches to the end customer.
And maybe beyond, because we have
yes,
seen that some companies that are using the already used coffee in order to create
exactly, yes, using
products.
written inside and products to produce cups, to produce even furniture. So yes, you can go across if you like. And I think that the technology has had an impact the last years on that, because before the knowledge could spread, let's say, around the world in this fast way through internet, through the connection of the people that they are working in this industry. I believe that is one of the main reasons that sustainability became also, let's say, something that can be addressable, because now you can go to a farmer, you can go to a country that is producing coffee that without internet, without a coffee farmer connection, without the knowledge of the people that they are working around coffee. First of all, some of them, they don't have engagement with their product. They just produce it because this is what they used to do, their grandfathers and the fathers of their grandfathers.
Let's say.
Yes, it's a family business.
Yes.
They are not always, let's say, love what they are doing, because most of them, they are not earning, let's say, the money that they would like to earn behind their work. So basically, it's something just to live. So I think that when it comes to sustainability to coffee, is how we will make those people over there not only to produce coffee in a massive way, just to cover the global needs and the industry, but how they can produce it now, and how we can make them passion, how we can increase their knowledge, and how we can help them in order to continue to producing this very unique product, not for the, let's say, next 5 years, but for the next 30, for the next 40. And putting barriers, let's say, to many difficulties that they are facing now, that for sure is, if they are gaining what they need to gain in order to have a decent life, and on the other hand, if they can face the global warming, difficulties in their cultivation, and the technology that they need in order to, to be more competitive
in the market.
Yes, it's very important. I realized before, say, when I started to understand how a coffee farm is producing and exporting coffee. So when I started to realize how difficult, first of all, is to cultivate and to produce coffee, and then how difficult it is to find, let's say, the route to market and the right supply chain to gain money for a farmer, it was something that I understood that, okay, so why they're still cultivating coffee?
Yes, that must be crazy.
There is no sense. Yes, it's so difficult. So for me, sustainability, when it comes to coffee, you need to focus on those small farmers, on many small countries that, let's say, they are not the famous ones like Colombia or Brazil. For sure, I know that all the big companies and all the sustainability programs around the world are focusing on the big producing countries, because this is there we have the risk to do not maintain, let's say, the coffee production. But on the other hand, there are many small countries that helping to produce coffee. Actually, you are helping the local community. You are helping the people there to not only to produce coffee, but to find a way to continue their life. So I think that we need to go to this level. If I was a consumer and I would like to understand, let's say, what sustainability is, yes, if you want really to understand, you have to go to this level and understand what really sustainable product is.
Yes, because as all that you said might be, not might, they are more or less the same with farmers of other products, or sheep farmers or goat farmers. Yeah. The first thing, that the first piece of the chain is always very difficult in terms of production and everyday life, because it's something that is living. It's a plant. It's an animal that produces milk or something like that. I can resonate these two. This is a very difficult work, let's say, and a very competitive field. And as you said, many people are doing this because there are no other options. So certainly what we have to do is to be ourselves a little bit in the mood of sustainability in order to help one another?
Uh, in order to help and in order to support with an efficient way, for this reason, you need to understand that if I am a consumer, that I am consuming, let's say, products that they have only the label of sustainable product of or an organic product of, or a certification of whatever. This means that I'm doing something good for the coffee sustainable, let's say, chain. No, because let's be honest, to take a certification in a farmer level
It's difficult.
It's very difficult. Needs time, needs knowledge, needs investments. So it doesn't mean that if we have now, I don't know, the 20%, let's say, of our total production certified coffees coming from farms with sustainability programs behind or from organic cultivation, we had the other percentage, which is very big, and we need also to support this. Because
Yes,
if we want sustainability across, we cannot exclude the other percent. It's very big.
Forgive me for interrupting, but I think that this is what we should understand, that sustainability is for everything, for every farmer, for every part of the world, that it is a way of producing, a way of thinking, a way of living, and it's not only for some parts of this industry, it's for everyone, should be for everyone.
It's good to have, let me say that I want to clarify, it's good to have a different classification, let's say, around coffee. And it's good for the consumers to know what their products is, if they have any source of traceability, or if they are unique coffees. Of course, it's something that you want to advertise it and you want to consume it. But on the other hand, doesn't mean that if a product in the same category is not like this, cannot find the right consumer and cannot, let's say, be also a way to support the coffee industry in general. It's still coffee. It still has been produced maybe from a small coffee farmers, but they are not certified yet, or they cannot be certified for different reasons, but still they're producing coffee, and they need to sell it and to live through it. So,
and to sell it in a price that they are able to live decently.
So if I'm a consumer, I would like, let's say, to be 100% sure that I'm paying what I'm getting for as a consumer. So if it's a Robusta coffee, it's a Robusta coffee. If it's an Arabica coffee, it's an Arabica coffee. If it's a different levels of Arabica or Robusta and different quality aspects inside, again, I would like to see this in the price. And when I'm consuming also an organic product, a certified, a sustainable product that has a certification, again, I need to understand that I will pay more because it's time, it's money, it's investments behind in order to have a sustainable farm. And please, for every consumer, don't connect the certification or the sustainability or any, let's say, attribute of coffee with a taste, because this is a different world. For sure, something that is organic or is sustainable, let's say, produced, it's something good for the reason that we mentioned before, but doesn't mean that it's going to fit on your taste, or doesn't mean that you are going to feel the organic and sustainable cultivation in your taste buds. For sure, no.
Yes, it's what we discussed with George Makropoulos in the last episode about the taste and how it's connected with specialty or non-specialty coffee. And we said exactly this, that maybe it's a specialty coffee, but some people might not like it, and it is okay. So every coffee, every product in our world has its audience. And that's
there is no coffee to waste.
Yes.
if you try to force people or you try to influence the consumer that you need to consume only sustainable products or organic products, that no. If you do this, it's exactly the opposite from what sustainability is trying to reach out. No, you need to, as a consumer at least, to always ask for the best quality you can get with the price that you want to pay. And it's good if you want to have even an 100% lowland robusta in your coffee inside, but this is what you want to pay, and it's good to like it. And for sure, the farmers behind the robusta cultivation needs this money in order to live decent. So yes, you need to find a consumer that will appreciate what is paying for.
I believe that we have clarified all these sustainability
meaning, in a way,
yes.
I'm saying again, it's something very complicated. Just keep this a sustainable product. Sustain means the same is the question. Not always. Sustain is to retain. So for sure, when it comes to coffee, in order to be sustainable in the following years, we are going to face huge problems around the coffee cultivation. But for this reason, in order to make them sustain, we need to overcome these barriers, let's say, and find solution how we can cultivate coffee after 30 years, using the resources in a more efficient way. This is the concept of sustainability.
If I'm taking what you said, that there are problems and we have to see far away, further in 20, 30 years, what can we do now? What do we do now? Because many companies, many people, many companies that are behind sustainability in the world are trying to make it better, to do something and help this chain. What can we do? What are the, let's say, what is the help that we can offer?
As a consumer, and I'm not one because I cannot see, let's say, through an eyes of a consumer. I'm trying to be in their position actually, but since I'm a coffee professional, my perspective, let's say, it's not always from a consumer base. But if I was a consumer, yes, I will try to ask and understand better what a sustainable product is and how I can support sustainable product in a way. But on the other hand, why the products that they are not sustainable, they are not yet, and what can I do maybe to help those people to reach in a kind of sustainable, let's say, production. So as you mentioned,
let's leave the consumer, because as you said, you cannot put yourself in the place of a consumer because you are inside this industry. What are the companies doing and how they're trying to help?
The last years, I think, because the problem became dominant, especially with the global warming, and now we can see what is causing around the producing countries. But okay, back in 70s, let's say, it wasn't a problem, meaning the production. But the last years, I will use a phrase of the sustainability president of Specialty Coffee Association. I read in an interview before some months that he said, of course, the big companies will need, let's say, to focus and turn all their powers in this problem, in the how we can retain and produce sustainable coffee, because it's their feed, it's what they are doing. So if those companies are not willing to help and support, for sure, in 2050, we are not going to have coffee. So I believe that the last years, all the big companies, all the big suppliers had, let's say, reached to a level to understand that they need to go to the country of origins, they need to support the local communities in a sustainable way. As we were talking before, meaning before we start this podcast, I told you that for sure to just to give money or to invest in some post-production, let's say, technologies for the farmers is something good. But if you want to maintain and sustain this progress of the farmer, you have to make it in a way that those farmers can be standalone, can earn what they would like to earn through coffee,
yes.
they should earn, but working on the quality aspects and how they're going to work on the quality aspects. So again, to train them, even if it sounds something very common and something very easy, it's the most important thing
I
to
don't
make them
think it
understand.
is easy to educate
It's
those
easy to say,
people.
to say, okay,
Yes.
I'm go there and I'm training the farmers how they could cultivate in a more sustainable way using less water, and in this way they can sustain and maintain, let's say, their coffee production. No,
Everything is easy when you say it. When you move to
no.
action, then the problems occur. That's
I
that's
haven't
in
I
every
haven't
field.
involved ever, let's say, in a program like this, but I know that it's take time, years, and it's not easy again to engage those people and make them understand how to to produce in a sustainable way. I think that the recent years, all the companies are
Investing in
heading to
this.
this direction. Of course, they were doing, and also in the past years, but maybe without a sustainable program behind. So, okay, I will go once, I will invest in something, I will build a school, I will try to make the local community to increase, let's say, their level of living. But then I'm leaving. If I'm an organization, if even a company, I'm leaving, and then what? The farmer is there, standing alone, having no future. So now they understand that it's not only to go and invest on those countries, but go there and help them. It's not only about money. Is knowledge. Is many different aspects basically. So it's something that all the companies have realized, and I don't want to mention brands. I can
No.
say for the company that I work for, yes, of course we are investing 20 years now in sustainability programs, but I know all over the coffee industry, all the big companies are doing so. Again, not because good companies they are doing this because they have in their mind always the small farmer. Don't think it that way. As the president said, if they are not willing to do so, they are going to face the problem first. So at least
Yes.
everybody is going to force and support sustainability across in coffee. This is what I believe, and this is what everybody is aiming to. On the other hand, I will use also a phrase of a rock musician, so maybe it's not familiar to you.
Which one?
His name is Serj Tankian. He's an Armenian singer of a very famous group, and he's very active, let's say, in order to support human rights, actually. So it's very active behind those scenes. So he said once, because he's famous, he's rich, not by default, but he became rich through his music. So once a reporter asked him, okay, of course, now that you are rich, you are supporting, let's say, those movements behind human rights. But on the other hand, is what all the rich men are doing when they are becoming rich, because they can. So
Of course.
you are not a hero, something like that. So the answer from him was very simply, and said that don't wait from Johnny the Cup Killer to change the world. He's located in America, by the way.
Yeah.
So for this reason, he mentioned maybe Cup Killer. So don't wait from the John Cup Killer to change the world, but wait from at least the ones that they have the power to have the willing also to do because in this way, yes, those people, they can change. So even if I'm rich and I'm famous and I have a lot of money, it's good that I can support in this way, because
Of course.
yes, I have the influence to change the things. So again, when it comes to coffee and to big companies, even if someone could say, okay, don't expect from big companies, to support this industry across, I'm sure that if they don't do it, we are not going to have coffee in some years from now.
So I would like to ask you another thing. If we see this sustainable view of the perspective of the barista here in Greece, around the world, the barista that is working, that is his whole day has to do with this small, beautiful bean and the coffee, what could we say about this?
Let's say, I'm many years out of a bar, meaning as an active barista to interface with consumers and customers. But I'm sure that even me before 10 years, I will be more proud, let's say, to serve or to communicate to my client, to my consumer, the one that is sitting on the bar, that they have something remarkable, let's say, to offer to him because I have a sustainable or organic coffee or something that is certified. On the other hand, I understand that if I was trying, let's say, to do this before 15 years that I was working as a barista, most probably, even if I had an organic product in my hands, the consumer still will taste a very bad coffee because I didn't know how to clean my machine. I didn't know how to grind properly. I didn't know how to extract properly an espresso. Actually, I knew only the basic things, how to put inside my dirty portafilter ground coffee, put it on the coffee machine, press a button that an old guy told me, experienced guy from the outlet, and this was my routine. So even if I had an organic product or a sustainable product, and if I knew those terms around coffee back then, most probably I will not be able to address this to my end consumer.
The cup
so nowadays,
yes,
the cup still will taste awful, or at least back then. I hope now not.
Yes, I believe not. Yes, I believe not.
Let's hope, but you never know. So,
yes.
So if I was a barista nowadays, that for sure I have said all the times, especially in Greece, around the world, of course, the level of baristas has increased the last years in a huge way. But in Greece, especially, we had a big growth. Suddenly, the barista became a professional job, not just that you are doing
a side job, yes.
Beside, as a side job or without having any experience at all. So if I was a barista nowadays, that for sure sustainability coffee is more appealing. First of all, I would be sure that I'm preparing the coffee that I have in my hands now, even if it's organic, even if it's Robusta, if it's special, any kind of coffee, that I have the skills to prepare it and to extract the best of it and give the best experience from this product to my end consumer. And if I was 100% sure that now I can, let's say, extract from every product that I have in my hands the best quality, then yes, to advertise a sustainable product and in the consumer that is also, let's say, a higher level of consciousness consumer, then yes, I will be proud, of course, to serve an organic coffee or a sustainable coffee. But it's not the majority of the coffee supplying, meaning the sustainable coffee or the certified sustainable coffees. So even if all the baristas would like to do it from tomorrow, they couldn't, because still is a minority, let's say, of the total coffee production. And the rest farmers that they are not inside sustainability program, still they are producing coffee, they're producing the biggest percentage of coffee, and you need also to support this. So if you want to support them, also those farmers in a sustainable way, at least produce every coffee bean that you have in your hands with respect to your client and to yourself as a professional. And then,
in the best way you can. Yes.
In the best way, of course. And then, yes, you are free to choose whatever coffee you like. And if you find a product that supporting sustainability program because it's under a sustainability program, then yes, for sure, now you're qualified to take it and not only to advertise a small badge in the bag of coffee, but to understand what this badge means and how you can deliver the same experience to your consumer. For him to understand that when you are drinking a sustainable coffee, it's not a matter of taste only, because I'm the barista that I'm trying to extract the best taste of it. But on the other hand, you're supporting active a sustainable program. And that's the whole story.
In order to finish this beautiful conversation, Dionys, today, what would you say to the people that listen to us right now in just one sentence about sustainable coffee?
Just in one sentence, eh?
Yes. Difficult for you, I know.
Now I would be happy if you could also share with me your last question, not only the first question that you were about to do, but in one sentence.
Okay, let's make it two. Okay.
Still struggling, but I will try. So, in one sentence, okay, sustain for me, it's not remains the same. It's not maintain, but sustain is to. So, if I struggle in two sentences, I would say that sustain, maybe it's not remain the same. Maybe it's not maintain the same. Sustain needs progress, needs to go ahead, needs to define new ways to keep it sustained. So what we can do regarding coffee, just enjoy it and hope that the stakeholders behind will do what they need to do in order for us to have coffee even after 30, 60, 70 years. Cross fingers.
And I would like to add to this and enjoy and respect what they drink, whatever this is. I think the respect is a very important fact.
In every, let's say, sense that everybody's understanding what respect is. So even, I'm saying again, even a consumer of instant coffee, we need to respect him, and also because he's having respect for what he's drinking. He thinks that he's good for him and for his taste.
Of course.
So respect
from every direction. Yes.
Exactly. So thank you. Since I think that we cover all the topics around sustainability, I would like to thank you once more for the invitation. Again, I'm saying that it was a conversation between us without a script. So
yes,
and you make it more difficult to me.
If we had some sounds and some difficulties in the sound, is because the internet sometimes it's not as good as we want. So I would like to ask from our audience to be forgivable, and it's not our fault. We try our best.
No, for sure. But on your next podcast project,
yes,
probably the name will be Coffee Footprint, something like that.
Yes.
And if we don't have COVID, of course, we can do it, let's say, not through internet connection, but together.
Together,
we will
hand
have
by
the
hand.
chance again. Yes.
Dionisi, thank you very, very much. I want you to share with us where can people find you, see what are you doing in some social network, or where they can find you. If you can tell us.
I have social networks, so you can find me either on Facebook page or in Instagram with my name. I think it's Dionysis Moustis with Latin, of course. I'm not, let's say, too active in social media, but always I'm trying to replying in messages. And for me, it's a way to connect with people, even if I'm not, let's say, so active. So if everybody wants to reach out to me and send me a message, for sure I will be more than happy to answer.
this is what we want. We want this connection, and for the audience of Coffee Stain to connect with you and with me and connect all together. So this is the reason. We don't care if you're much active in Instagram or Facebook or not. It's it's the connection that we seek. So
let's hope that near in the future we'll have the chance at least to meet, not through messages, Facebook or social media.
Yes, we hope. We all hope this around the globe. That's true. So
thank you,
that
Artemis.
was for today. Thank you. Take care. My kisses.
You too.
And we will be in touch. I would like to say to you that you can listen to Coffee Stain in whichever is your favorite application, and find us in Instagram, where you can see the other links that we share there.
Thank you once more.
Have a nice day. Bye bye.
You too.